And we are live. And I want
Oh,
to say, I want to say, hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. And what the first thing I would like to say is don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I am your girl, Carmel Jean-Francois, coming to you out of the New York City area. I am owner and founder of CFit Coaching. And today I am proud to introduce to you my guest, Jude Michel. Now, Jude Michel is my first cousin, proud of it. It is a family affair up in here. Jude Michel is owner of Chayou Healing Arts, and she's going to explain that a little bit later. What we're talking about today is the different healing arts. Jude practices modalities such as Reiki, chakra therapy, energy medicine. She's a menopause doula and a meditation teacher. Now, if any of you have followed me, you know that I always say that health and wellness goes far beyond the food that are at the ends of our forks and the squats that we do. It has so much to do with energy and healing different types of things that are trapped inside of our bodies. And Jude specializes there. And she specializes in something called the metaphysical. Metaphysical, help me out, Jude.
metaphysical. It's metaphysical healing.
Metaphysical healing. So Jude is
Yeah.
going to explain what that is. She's going to explain
Yeah.
her journey, and I'm probably going to slip in a few questions here and there. So Jude, I would love to introduce to you. I would love to introduce you to my guest. Jude, welcome to my channel.
Hello, guests. And Carmel, I want to thank you first off for allowing me to be on your channel and for you to talk to me. This is an honor. I think it is so cool what you're doing, and I'm so proud to be part of it. I mean, I always say that, if we were here to get to our next level by ourselves, then there would be no one else in the world except for you. But we're here to help each other, right? Get from one point to another. And I'm here to support that, wherever you are on your healing journey, on your health and wellness healing journey. Carmel is definitely your girl, and I would also like to support that. So let me go back and try to explain everything that Carmel said, because it is a lot, right?
It's a lot.
So metaphysics. I started this journey a very long time ago. I was very young. I was in my early teens, and my health and wellness started by me just kind of like wasn't feeling well, and then I noticed the correlation that once I moved, once I did some exercise, once I danced, afterwards I felt a whole lot better, whether it was cycling, dancing, moving, whatever. And I was like, okay, there's some correlation between that. No one told me, but I just felt better. And then I started studying metaphysics. Let me tell you guys what metaphysics is. It's a branch of philosophy, actually. It studies the fundamentals of nature, of reality, the principles of being, literally being, your identity and change, space and time, cause and effect, necessity, and possibility. So metaphysics is considered one of the four branches of philosophy, along with like logics and ethics is what we mostly talk about. But metaphysics is really a philosophy of life once you put all that together, right? So again, I started branching and noticed that, space, time, cause and effect, movement, I felt better. And necessity, I needed to move, and that gave me the possibility, again, to feel better. Then it branched into eating right. It branched into a whole bunch of other stuff. And here I am now, a seasoned woman, and I'm proud to say that I've been able to incorporate all that information into what I'm calling now Chayou Healing Arts. I hope that answers your question.
That does, right? So it kind of pulls in together all of our experiences into how we heal in the ways that we can heal, if I understood that correctly.
You did.
Oh, yay. And so what is Chayou Healing Arts? What is Chayou? I know what it is, but
Okay.
folks out there don't exactly know.
Okay, so I call my healing art Chayou. Chayou is a nickname that I had from the time that I was just a little person. And that name, that's what my family calls me. And when I sat and thought about what I should, how I should brand myself or call myself, I decided to call it Chayou Healing Arts because this was my beginning. Like, Chayou was given to me as a word of endearment, and it has so much affection and love behind it. Like, when my family calls me Chayou, I know that it's coming from a place of when I was a little girl and they picked me up and they just saw me like, oh my gosh, this new life came in, and they called me Chayou. So Chayou to me represents this unconditional love, this acceptance, this we are going to take who you are and mold you and sculpt you and mold and protect and guide you into this the best person that you can be.
Yes.
So I'm in the process of still, being the best person that I can be. So this is where Chayou Healing Arts was born.
I love that. I love that. Now I know Shayu because I grew up calling you Shayu, but I didn't know how you came up with calling that your business, right? I didn't know where that came because I have a nickname too that everybody called me as I grew up, and that's what I identify with. I don't even identify so much with Carmel as much as I do with my name Kami growing up, and as you were explaining what Shayu means to you, I'm like, yes, yes, that's what my name means to me, the Kami that everybody calls me. So I loved hearing that. I loved hearing that. So I want to know.
Mhm.
So I mentioned all these different modalities that you do practice: the Reiki, the chakra therapy, the energy medicine, and you're a menopause doula. I want to get back. I want to get you back onto this show so we can talk strictly menopause
Yeah.
and the meditation. So in all of those, which area do you focus on more? Which is your area of what you would say expertise that you practice more, that people contact you more, your clients, etc.?
Okay, so most people contact me for the Reiki healing / energy work and meditation. And the story behind that, in terms of the energy work, this was something that I was doing and didn't realize what it was.
Mm.
What I was doing for me was not effable. But once I realized that what I was doing was Reiki, then it made sense. Just because it wasn't equitable to me, that doesn't mean there wasn't a word out there that meant what I was doing. And so once I again did that correlation, I put that together and I realized, oh my gosh, what I'm doing is Reiki. So then I decided to go to an expert and get certified. So now I am a certified Reiki master.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, as I understand, this energy medicine, energy healing, Reiki, things of that sort,
Mhm.
it's a beautiful thing for somebody to get that type of healing done in person. But the energy healing doesn't necessarily have to take place in person. Like they would not have to go to your location and receive this service from you. Am I right?
That's right. Well, both actually. When Reiki, I use Reiki and energy work hand in hand. For those that don't understand Reiki and don't understand the science behind it and even the theory behind it, because Reiki has been around for ages, centuries. That's why I call it energy work. But there, as a Reiki master, I am certified in distant healing and also one-on-one.
Some people may, because at first I didn't understand
Yeah,
energy healing.
yeah.
What is energy healing?
Okay, so let me explain it in terms of Reiki. We again, traditions has explained that we have these energy centers. We have 7 energy centers. It starts from the base of our torso and it goes all the way up to the crown of our head. And the interesting thing about
Is that
these,
what people know as a I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Is
no,
that what people typically know as the chakras?
as chakras,
Okay, all right,
yes,
go ahead.
yes. And we've seen beautiful images of chakras. And if you look at the images, each chakra is connected to a color. And if
Yeah.
you look at it, you'll realize that it's the color of the rainbow. Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful. Yes, now
Right,
that I'm thinking about it, yes, yes.
right. So your first chakra is red. Your
Mhm.
second chakra is orange. The next one is yellow. The heart chakra is green. The throat chakra is blue. The crown chakra is purple. And then very top, like above your head, like right here, that is white.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Right, you
Okay,
bib.
so you were talking about the energy healing. I said, what is energy? So the energy is within us, and that's what is identified by these chakras and these
Right.
colors, right?
Right. And
So
so a lot of discomfort, or I like to call dis-ease, happens in the body energy centers before it's even seen as an illness. So, what does that mean? So, if you're not feeling well emotionally, a lot of times, if you don't work through that emotion, it gets trapped in your body. And each of these energy centers um, are, I would say, they have their characteristics that go along with emotions. Like, for example, the easiest one is the heart chakra.
yeah,
It's green. Some people might, be like, oh, this person really hurt me. Like my heart is broken. Now, if someone is living in a situation where their heart is constantly broken, something might come about, right? To show that the heart might not be moving as strong as it needs to be, or it might be moving too fast. And so there are other things happening. And then if the person kind of thinks back, they'll be like, well, I do remember like back in the day, something happened and my heart was really impacted. Like I felt it right here. You ever see someone when they're talking and they were like, oh, that just
yeah.
killed me? That they're literally talking about like their heart hurts, right? And so a
Well,
lot of time, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead. A lot of
Okay.
times,
So a lot of times it happens energetically before something happens physically that some like a doctor would be able to recognize. In ancient modalities, like for example acupuncture, I'm huge on acupuncture. You go to acupuncturist, acupuncturist would be able to ask you like, are you grieving? Do you have like a broken heart? And like, how do you figure that out? Because it's the energetics of the heart that's showing up in their diagnosis to you. I think it's fascinating, and that again brings me back to the metaphysics, right?
yeah, that is fascinating. And I feel like it would take, I know that we're all spiritual beings. We're all empaths to a certain extent. Some of us are more connected than others, and you would be probably somebody that's more connected. I remember as a child, not as a child, as younger, and you would give massages, and every time you gave a massage, I remember it would deplete you just a little bit, and you would have to just kind of like shake it off and shake it off. And I remember that, and I never knew what you were doing. And so that's the energy. That's how you are able to tap into other spiritual beings and actually feel and see and take note of what's happening in somebody else's body. So I do think that's absolutely 100% fascinating. And another example that you were talking about, the energy and how you would feel it in your chakras, and it would manifest into a dis-ease. I would even I've come to learn that a lot of trauma is trapped into different organs, and where we would constantly feel like, oh, just something's gnawing in the pit of my stomach, and then you would come to have an ulcer or something like that. Like, and I know that trauma gets trapped in our bodies, and it actually ends up manifesting even when we feel like, I haven't thought about that in a long time. Yeah, that's because you tucked it away and now it's manifesting. And yes, all of that I think is incredibly interesting and fascinating, and actually quite beautiful once we've made the connection and go through the um the work, the work.
Yeah.
So I had another question for you. I wanted to, okay, so your area of focus you said was the Reiki and the energy healing. And what's your larger goal in the focus of this area?
Oh my gosh, thank you, Carmel, for asking. So my larger goal is that I want to create a we world. When I say we, you and me, us, a we world. And I believe that that can happen by me just tapping into something that I am so passionate about, people understanding healing and healing themselves from emotional, mental, physical dis-ease. And so a we world, if I had to define it, it is a world where no matter what race, color, creed, ethnicity, socioeconomic status that you're in, that we can respect and honor each other. We understand that each person is interconnected and we are really one person. So I want to create a we world. It's a huge ambition, but I think, I'm up for it. I am up for it. I think the world is ready to hear this type of language and talk about a we world and talk about this loving people. I'm like, I can love everyone, but that doesn't mean I gotta like you. I can love everyone, but that doesn't mean I want to go to lunch with you and hang out with you. But I can still love you because you are a part of me, right? And I am a part of you. Like Carmel mentioned, we are spiritual beings. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience. So physically, we might not jive all the way, and that's okay. But I love your fundamental core of who you are, because who you are is who I am. And if I have to love myself unconditionally, I have to love you unconditionally. So that's my big goal. It's
That's
huge.
your big goal. And yeah, I do feel like we are at a certain age in time where we are waking up to a lot of this. And I feel like with each generation that comes, um, humans are really more aligned and more tapped into their spiritual selves than ever. And I think it's a beautiful thing, and it's warming. It's good to know. If it's good, it feels good to know that
Yeah,
we're on the right track as a human culture, right?
right. Humanity is definitely on the right track. And it's interesting that you say that, Carmel, because I mean, for years, like I mentioned, I'm a seasoned woman, but I've been like practicing and reading and studying since my early teens. And I was private with it. I was a private, intuitive person. And I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't have the language for it. I was exposed to it, but it was exposure in such a way that it wasn't always in a positive light.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I am very public with who and what I am. You also mentioned, that everyone has intuition. Everyone has intuition, and in certain language, it's called having clairs, right? Clairs, like clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and clair is a French word which means clear, right? And so there are four clairvoyant clairs that people mostly talk about, but actually there's six. There's clairvoyance, where you see. There's clairaudience, where someone hears clearly, like they like would hear someone's voice. Clairsentience, where they feel. Clair cognitive, where they know. Clair, I want to pronounce this properly. Clairalience, ALIENCE, and that means when you smell. Clairgustance, that's when you taste. So there are all the clairs out there. So some people might be able to taste something, and then it brings them back to something that they're able to say, this is such and such, such and such. The ones that we're mostly familiar with is someone who's clairvoyant and clairaudience. They're like, oh, I just saw something, or I saw a dream, or, I got an image, or I just heard something. And all of us have that ability, whether it is in our sleep state or in our waking state.
So in saying that, again, I think all of this is fantastic, and it's just so incredibly interesting. But what you're saying, what was the one where you feel
Clairsentience.
Clairsentient? I feel like you might be that, cousin, because there have been times where you're like, hey, and you would touch my hand and be like, ooh, what's happening with you? What's going on? You've done that to me before.
That is so true. That might be it.
Revelation.
Thanks for bringing it to my attention.
Yeah, you've done that to me. You'd be like, ooh, are you all right? What's going on with you? Yeah, you've done that to me before.
Yeah.
I've personally experienced that with you before. All right. So as we're saying this, there's probably lots of folks out there that actually are one of these or all of these and experience this. And just like you didn't have a word for it, didn't have anybody to share this with. It's still, even though I feel like we're breaking out of that, and it's being discussed more, and people are recognizing these aspects of our spirituality more and more, it's still not being talked about enough. Right. And people are still not really coming out and saying, this is what I am, and embracing it. So I appreciate the work that you're doing and bringing it to light. I appreciate the fact that you're bringing this knowledge to my channel, and people might start to understand themselves, a loved one, and maybe even seek out these healing practices for themselves. Because I know that I've been very interested in seeking out a lot more of my spiritual healing, and so that I can just remove blocks and just be the best version of me. Right? Without feeling like I'm being held down or something suppressing me from doing what I can. When you have like, oh, why can't I get it together? There's something in there that needs to be explored. And I appreciate the work that you do because of that, to help people do that. And I'm glad that you're family, so I can be like, hey, cuz.
I have you whenever you need it.
Thank you.
Well, you touched on something that also sparked something else that I would love to share with everyone. Like you just said, I don't feel right. Like, why can't I get it together? And sometimes it might not be you. It might be something down your lineage, like, a generation before you, or three generations, fifth removed. It's something that can come through your lineage. Like, again, we're energetic. And so a lot of times it might not be you. It might be something that you have to clear up from your lineage. And now, they talk about this. This is called epigenetics. That's the term for it. And then just the other day in one of my meditations, I came across this epiphany that, when we talk about, I have to heal, and the healing has to come from my lineages behind me, or my ancestral lineage. And I'm like, I want to tap into those ancestors that are healed so that I can move forward. Not everyone.
I hear you. It's so true. It's so true. Can I get some healings first? Can we work with those?
Oh my goodness. Can we help push all that stuff away? I know you need some stuff, but so do I. I need to kind of get centered. It's like, man, let's get it going. We love you. We're going to keep sending you positive energy, but we don't want to harp on that. We want to harp on the part of us that we're able to use as a stepping stone to move forward. As you said, Carmel, you want to be the best that you can be. You don't want to keep kind of having to like deal with past stuff. It's like, oh, let's just get to a place where that past stuff is rested. We gave it its space. And now let's make room for us energetically for us to accept and receive the energy that we want to help us move forward.
Wow, that's
So,
so, and that brings a completely different dynamic to it, simply because the past things that we might be dealing with, that's from an ancestor, because of
right.
our lineage, we won't even really know what it was that they're dealing with. It's just trapped somewhere, and we just gotta do the work, find it, and remove it. So yeah, what you just said, I did some energy work maybe about a year and a half ago, where the energy person that I was dealing with, she was able to find trapped trauma in my lineage, and she was able to take it and remove it as we were doing the work. And she says nobody in your energy line or nobody in your lineage will ever experience that again. It's gone, and it's gone forever. And it was interesting because it was energy work. It was over the phone, but there was something in when she was going through what she was saying. I really felt lighter, and I was emotional. I didn't even know how to react, because a part of me was like, yeah, but another part of me felt it. That I felt it in my body, and it was absolutely incredible. There was another thing that you were saying when you were talking about the lineage thing, Jude, was I heard that it can go at least 3 generations back, or maybe even more so, because it carries on, especially from mother to child, mother to child, but not only mother to child, but mother to grandchild, because of how we carry, if a woman is pregnant and she has this baby in her belly, that baby in her belly is female. That baby in her belly already has all the eggs that she will that she's supposed to have when she comes to full maturity and able to give a birth. So in other words, I was already in my grandmother, right? So whatever grandma was dealing with at the time, whatever trauma she was locking away, gets passed on not only to her child, but her child's eggs, which that would be me. That would be me and you, because we are first cousins.
Right.
When I heard that, my mind was blown. And that's how it can get trapped in ourselves from generation to generation to generation, even more than the three. We have 3, 6, 9.
Right.
And that was mind blowing to me.
It's absolutely mind blowing. And then if you think about it, I mean, for the evolution of humanity, just think about how humanity was 100, 200, 300, 500, 1,000 years ago. I don't know anyone who doesn't have trauma in them. Every single race, color, creed, ethnicity has trauma, whether it is trauma that is, I should say, domestic, right,
Mhm.
in the home, or if it's societal. Every
Mhm.
group, every person. And so
Mhm.
this is, again, the Chayou Healing Arts. Like, we have to heal as humanity so that we can move forward.
Mhm.
Something else you said in terms of, oh, yeah, and before I even knew about healing, or again, find the words for it, and I was going through my whole own healing journey, I would literally say, I want to heal from a cellular level. And people were
Mhm.
like, what are you talking about? I was like, it's trapped in my cells. It has to be in my cells. I want to heal.
You didn't even know how to explain it. You were just like, but there's got to be a way.
Right. Because, yeah, everyone has their thing that they've gone through when they grew up. But I mean, for the most part, my parents, they did their best to give me a good life. Like, if I think about 200, 300, 400, 500 years ago, like it would have been a whole different ball game if I was born then. And
Right.
so my basic needs were met. I had shelter, I had home, I
Yes.
had food, I had education, I had access to things, but yet it was something still in me that I just did not feel right.
Mm.
Dealing with some medical issues. We won't even talk about the mental issues, some mental issues with like feeling lull and feeling dull and not enthusiastic about life. all that is the epigenetics of my lineage.
Wow.
There you
Wow.
have it.
That's deep. That's deep. So every single person that is walking the streets, that walk by us, that grunts as they walk by or smiles as they walk by, they're all dealing with some type of trauma.
Right.
With some type of trauma. That's why, there's that quote, in a world where we could be anything, just be kind. Because we never know what somebody else is going through, what type of healing they might need, why they grunted this morning instead of saying good morning. And we think, oh, that asshole. No, 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 he could be just dealing with something very serious. Yeah. And it's time for us to really keep that in mind and
Yeah.
treat people with grace no matter what. Of course, if they're cursing you out, that's a different story. But but yeah, Jude. Oh, I love this conversation. I love this conversation. So my question is, where are you even located?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would help. I am located in Maryland. I am about 30 minutes north of Washington, D.C., and about 15 minutes south of Baltimore. I am in a cute little town called Ellicott City, that's in Howard County. So I am in Maryland. I'm not too far from you. 4 hours away is not far.
No, it's not far at all.
Right, right, right.
So my question to you is, if people wanted to work with you in person, do you take in clients?
I am. I do. I have a social presence. I'm on Facebook. I am on Instagram, and I have my own website. And Carmel, it would be great if you can post all that information. And
Yep.
my
I mean,
website is called Chayou Healing Arts. There, you can book a consultation with me. I have 30-minute consultations that are complimentary, because people might be like, what is this? And they want to talk to me about their personal concerns. And then, if this is something that you want to explore, I would be more than glad to do distant Reiki with you and meditation. And the reason why I incorporate healing with meditation is because, like, our minds are filled with so much chatter and a lot of stress. We won't even talk about our electronics, our phones, our computers with electromagnetic waves. And meditation, what that does is help you to quiet your mind so that you can tap into the frequency and the energy that you need to tap into to help you heal, or even just to quiet your mind and just decompress. So I help folks go through meditation, and a lot of times I do a combination. Some folks just want Reiki, other people just want meditation, but I find it most effective and impactful if I do energy work and couple it with a meditation at the end. That way it's kind of like putting a nice bow on the session.
Oh, that's beautiful. That sounds beautiful. So it's good to know that you take clients in person, and you also take clients via phone. You say complimentary, which is very generous and very beautiful, but we do take donations, y'all, just so you know.
Oh, that's true, right? That's good. I didn't even think of that.
We do take donations. Because your time, girl, your time is precious. So we want to make sure that people understand that. And the information that you have is priceless, cousin.
Thank
Priceless, and
you.
will help so many people. That's why I'm such a fan of what you do. And I'm definitely behind you 100% with the support, whatever support that you need. So I urge you, reach out to Jude of Chayou Healing Arts. Yes, all the information will be in the comments. If it's going to be up before the night is up, before the hour. And her Instagram, her Facebook, as well as her landing page for you to book a session with Jude. And or if you have any questions, if you don't want to talk to her, you can always reach out to her on Instagram and or Facebook and DM her, leave her some messages there. So with that said, let me see if I had any more questions for you. On a personal level and what you do, etc., how would you summarize yourself, you, Jude?
I will summarize myself as a person that is evolving, a person that is looking to be the best person that she can be in this lifetime. I want to give my soul everything that it needs in this lifetime so my soul can evolve. That's how I would categorize myself. It's esoteric in our, I guess, in today's time, because people like something tangible.
Yeah.
To me, this is very tangible and very real. Who I am is what I do is who I am. I am a soul just looking to evolve and just be the best person I can be in this lifetime, known as Jude Michel.
Yes,
And so, yeah, that's my thing.
and you're here to take everybody along on the journey who's willing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. All
Yeah.
right. All right, everyone. Well, Jude from Chayou Healing Arts, I appreciate you being here with us today,
Oh
this
my gosh.
evening. And yeah, so tap in. Any questions, reach out to myself or Jude. And happy healing. Happy healing, everyone. So once again, Jude, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're
Thank you
quite
for having
welcome.
me. It was an honor. Thank you.
The honor was mine. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.